What is the weirdest thing you find extremely attractive? My husband can do an incredible impersonation of a gorilla. Knuckles on the ground, butt sticking out, huffing noise, the whole deal. Wouldn't you know that has gotten me into bed more times than I would care to admit it. I want to say it's mostly because he makes me laugh so much, but damn. Sometimes I see a gorilla and I'm like, wow, he's pretty handsome. Edit. I'm so fucking proud that this is my top comment. Thanks for the awards. Also, I think some of you are taking me way too seriously about finding actual gorillas attractive. Old-fashioned hairstyles. Fuck yes, actually, like 1950s. When they go all the way dressing up. Not in the fancy way, but in the oh there's a theme, and I'm not shy to go all the way with my costume. Shows confidence and a great fun factor. For me that also goes for events. When I was in nursing school, we had what was called our white coat ceremony in our first semester. It's like a welcome to becoming a nurse event. We all dress business casual, wear our lab coat, have a guest speaker, and take pics. It's sweet and feels pretty special, but it's not as big of a deal as our pinning ceremony. So we all show up for the event, and in walks one of our classmates in a full blue suit. A horde of my classmates erupted in AWWS because he had clearly overdressed, but that one event made me look at him different for the rest of my schooling. It wasn't the fact that he was in a suit, but the fact that he was overdressed, and not in a cocky way. He actually was really embarrassed when he realized his mistake, but damn I still feel a little tingly inside about it. Some impurities in the face like freckles, or random black dots. My boyfriend has this one black dot directly below his eye in the middle of his left cheek. It makes him infinitely more valuable on the face market to me. Looks so darn adorable. Are you planning to cut his face off and sell it on the face market? Cause it kinda sounds like that lol. Recently I've been working out more. My wife says the veins popping out of my arms and hands get her all hot and bothered for some reason. Either way it feels good when she touches them. Yes, the pump. Is your wife in the medical field, by any chance? I am, and a lot of my female coworkers, and I find prominent veins super sexy. The idea that in this microwave-ready, Instagram-perfect world, that there are people, like all of you in this thread, that appreciate the imperfections in people, and make them sound like the most attractive features ever. Edit. Thanks you guys. This is probably my most favorite thread ever. There is so much appreciation and positivity being spread here. I will always keep this in mind when I don't feel quite my best. People who can ramble on about their passion/s for hours. I love listening to people talk about the stuff they love. That's it. I'm bringing out the Dark Souls lore. You won't believe why they call him Big Hat Logan. That's it. I'm bringing out the Dark Souls lore. You won't believe why they call him Big Hat Logan. Eye crinkles on men. Edit. It's nice to see that I'm not alone in my appreciation for eye crinkles. Thank you to kind people who felt this deserved an award. You all made my day. My husband is older than I am, and he started getting laugh lines around his eyes a few years ago, and I love them. I have mentioned it to him, but it makes him feel self-conscious about wrinkles, so I have to keep it to myself. But those and his freckles, swoon. When my girl scolds me in her native tongue, I can't understand a word, but God it sounds sexy. I'm an American and my wife is a British. When she gets slightly annoyed her London accent gets more pronounced. It's hot. Men's calves. Snuggling up to those bad boys can be a real turn on. Charles Boyle has entered the chat. Edit. Thanks for the gilding. My husband got himself this bear onishi. The first time he put it on I was like, what is this feeling? Why am I aroused right now? After a few occasions of him wearing it I was like, well I guess I'm a borderline furry, although I think it's the snuggly softness that does it for me, rather than anything animalistic. He still thinks it's very weird, but he will put it on for me when I ask. Too bad for him our anniversary is in the height of summer. Edit. Honors are widely available, so I don't really understand why so many people are asking where he got it. I mean, they're literally everywhere, and it's not like his is special. It's not a magical onishi, it's just a normal, fluffy onishi with a hood and bare ears. It's also not one of those loose ones. I like the way it hugs his butt, but he bought his in next a basic high street shop in the UK. That was maybe 4 or 5 years ago, though, but you could definitely get one on Amazon. This has been my favorite comment so far. At first it was kinda funny to me, but I made it so much funnier in my head. I'm imagining some chick wearing lingerie and this dude in a bear costume comes out of the bathroom, and in a Yogi the Bear voice says, "I'm gonna taste what's in your picnic basket." PS, have a link to this onishi. Definitely not going to get one, just doing research. Edit. You guys are nuts. I appreciate you all. Here's a headline for you. Man bears all for his lover. Ends in sticky mess. Big, but structured, prominent noses. IDK what it is about them that I just swoon over, but it always happens. When a girl's hair falls over her face, it just looks super pretty to me, especially if she doesn't push it out of the way immediately. When someone you're talking to sticks out their tongue. Had a girl slightly do it on a date and it drove me wild. Sticks out tongue. This seems to be in the wrong mouth. Don't know why, but exhausted men look super hot to me. Probably because being exhausted is as close as being the real you as possible. I think there's a couple raw versions of people. A great one is when someone is just completely relaxed, like present and not worrying about anything else at that time. You get to see what they think and say, and how they act when the mental space is cleared, and they're free to think about whatever without life's demands pressing into their consciousness. I could think of a lot of weird things I find attractive, but the biggest is probably big t-shirts. Check size tag on shirt. How's a 5XL? Some women wear bags under their eyes very well. Smiles hopefully in anemia. Edit. Holy hell. I did not expect this much support for my Ferris Leachel engineerness. My dark circles, and I thank you for all the likes and awards. May your blood levels be ever steady and your circles be hella sexy. Freckles, scars, and skin blemishes in general. So much airbrushing and makeup nowadays hide our human imperfections and make people look like they are made out of plastic. I want to see the unique pattern of the person and listen to their stories of how they got those scars. If I wanted to spend time with something with a perfect complexion, I got my car. When someone's multilingual and switches back and forth between languages in a conversation. When I'm video chatting with my Filipino friends and I stop to talk to my boyfriend in Dutch, they will yell hinga dinga dogen at me. It's great. Being able to make a good Excel spreadsheet. K9 teeth. All day. On a human. Right? When a person stifles their laughter, something about the way their face scrunches up whenever it happens makes my heart flutter for some reason. Also, scars. I dated a guy for a couple of years in my early 20s who always wore an open button-down shirt over a tee, and whenever he laughed really hard, he would grab the open shirt and bury his face in it while his whole upper body shook. He had a very jiggly laugh too. The whole thing was ridiculously charming. Young women with silver hair. My wife's hair is like the color of Storm from X-Men, and I told her later on that her hair was insanely attractive to me the night we met, and she was like, I thought it was my accent. I said that too, and then opened my stupid mouth and said, your accent, your hair and your elbows made me even decide to speak to you. The fuck? My elbows? I had to confess I love nice elbows. IDKY. When people share their TMI moments. There's something weirdly sexy when someone drops their guard for a moment and gives you a peek behind the curtain of their life. I went snorkeling with a guy from Holland once. I found him a little obnoxious. He didn't want any swim fins, saying he was like Aquaman underwater and making a big deal out of it to the group. In the boat, he was rummaging around the guide's compartment and found a big knife. He jokingly pointed it at the guides while doing pirate noises. Honestly, he stressed me out a little, but when it came to jumping in the water, I was a little scared. I'm not a good swimmer, and I don't in particular like when I can't touch the bottom. He was the one who encouraged me, saying that he's also scared. He said a lot of things. And the reason why he hadn't taken any swim fins was because he felt like they were dragging him down. He let his guard down to make me feel better, even though it let him open to be ridiculed a little by the group about his aquaman antics. I liked him a lot better after that. I've pooped like 4 times today. I'm so into you. Edit. Holy shit X4 thanks for the awards, poopers. Full disclosure, I'm usually a morning oneer, but I've been skipping lunch this week and subbing in fresh pressed juice, and it's created a motility ebb and flow that may be a harbinger of the coming of the quizzer shitterach. The first part was an actual real life quote to the laddie friend, the response was fiction, but we do take interest in one another's movements. Doing handyman stuff. It doesn't have to be all strip club sexual, like a muscular fireman chopping wood shirtless. If you're soaked with sweat because you worked all day fixing and troubleshooting things, wrinkles on your forehead because you think too much, and you still have the patience to help a neighbor or entertain a kid, I'm jumping your fucking bones.